Did you know the man who accidentally created the world's most famous detective Sherlock Holmes hated him? And the famous line, "Elementary, dear Watson," he never even wrote it. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wasn't just a writer. He was a doctor, inventor, sportsman, war volunteer, and the mastermind who changed detective fiction forever. His love for the detective genre was greatly influenced by Edgar Allan Poe's work. Inspired by a real doctor named Joseph Bell, Doyle created Sherlock Holmes, a detective so iconic that people began believing he was real. But let me tell you, he was not the first writer to feature a cerebral detective. Edgar Allan Poe and Wilkie Collins both had characters who solved mysteries with reason. But Doyle's Sherlock Holmes is the one who has captured the world's imagination, and over 500 films and TV episodes were made from his stories. Fans wrote letters to Holmes. Some even addressed them to Baker Street. There's a statue of Sherlock Holmes in Edinburgh. But here is the twist. Doyle actually got tired of Sherlock Holmes. He once called the detective his monster, and so he killed Holmes off in 1893 at the Reichenbach Falls because he had a sickly feeling about the character. And the public lost their minds. Fans were furious. The newspapers exploded. People wore black mourning bands in London. Readers even cancelled magazine subscriptions. Newspapers called it literary murder. And after 10 years, he brought Holmes back. Financial distress, pressure, and public obsession forced Doyle to resurrect him. More crazier things are yet to come. Before modern forensics existed, Doyle wrote about analyzing cigarette butts and ash, studying footprints, and magnifying glass evidence to solve crimes, the techniques which police adopted later in real life. He also invented inflatable life rafts, suggested the Channel Tunnel connecting England and France decades before it existed. He played cricket with J.M. Barrie, a Scottish novelist, playwright, and the author of Peter Pan. He argued publicly about the sinking of RMS Titanic with Bernard Shaw. He was outraged by the dismissive comments made by the playwright. But Doyle became the highest paid writer of his time because he not only wrote fantasy and science fiction stories, but also plays, romances, poetry, non-fiction, and historical novels. For his contribution to the development of literature, Doyle was granted the nobility and the title of knight. He actively demanded the abolition of British laws that prosecuted mediums. The most complete biography of Doyle is reflected in the book True Conan Doyle, written by his son Adrian. Ironically, he was a very strong and well-built man and was actively involved in sports. However, his favorite sport was billiards, which does not involve significant physical exertion. Conan Doyle was a volunteer tester of one and the first prototypes of a motorcycle. Doyle believed Sherlock Holmes was not his greatest work at all. If you know which work he considered to be his best, comment below. The character he tried to erase became immortal. Legend created, legend hated, legend revived. Would Sherlock Holmes exist today if fans hadn't forced Conan Doyle to bring him back? What if Arthur Conan Doyle had never brought Sherlock Holmes back? Would detective fiction even look the same today? If you're a true fan of Sherlock Holmes, tell me how many novels and stories Doyle wrote on him. Comment your thoughts and answers. Follow us for more.